What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weisz.
Dr. Jeremy Weisz here, founder of inspiredinsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders. Today is no different. I have Richard Blank of Costa Rica's call center. You can check it out. I'm going to formally introduce Richard in a second, but Richard, I always like to talk about other episodes people should check out of the podcast. And because Richard is a pinball fanatic, we will definitely point out Roger Sharp. They call him the Babe Ruth of pinball. He called his shot in 1976. I guess pinball in the day was illegal and he made it legal somehow. So watch that. There was an episode on Drunk History of Roger Sharp that's hilarious. Also because we're talking call centers and direct response. I've had some direct response legends on the podcast. You can check them out. Ron Popeil, if anyone's heard this saying, but wait, there's more. He is an infomercial legend selling over $2 billion worth of stuff. Unfortunately, may he rest in peace. He passed away. But check that episode out. He was fantastic. And Rick Cesari as well was a great episode. Direct response. He helped Sonicare Toothbrush and George Foreman Grill with their infomercials and Juice Man Juicer and so many other legendary companies. So check that episode out as well. This episode is brought to you by Rise 25. And at Rise 25, we help businesses give to and connect to their Dream 100 relationships. And how do we do that? We help you run your podcast. For me, Richard, the number one thing in my life is relationships. I'm always looking at ways to give to my best relationships. And I found no better way to do that than to profile the people and companies I most admire over the past decade and have them on and shout from the rooftops what they're working on, what they're doing. So if you've thought about podcasting, you should. If you have questions, go to rise25.com or email us at support@rise25.com. And Richard Blank is a CEO of Costa Rica's call center. His journey in the call center space is filled with a lot of twists and turns. And I know, Richard, for you, when you were 27 years old, you relocated to Costa Rica and you started training employees from one of the larger call centers in San Jose. You've shared your knowledge and trained over 10,000 bilingual telemarketers. And I know people can check out Costa Rica's callcenter.com, where they have a variety of services we're going to dig into, like customer care, telesales, lead generation, appointment setting, and much more. And Richard, thanks for joining me.
So happy to be here today, Jeremy. Thank you so much for having me as a guest on the podcast.
I'm excited because there's so much stuff. We're going to talk about gamification of culture, expat moving there, some of the challenges of call centers, training, soft skills. But I wanted to start off with people have misconceptions of call centers, right? They picture it's just like a churn and burn calling people. What are some of the misconceptions that you come across in the call center space?
Well, the first thing is, my friend, they say that I call them during dinner, and we don't have any campaigns that do that. But it's pretty much what you've seen in Hollywood, from Glengarry Glen Ross, Boiler Room, and of course, The Wolf of Wall Street. You see these environments where it's fast-paced, aggression, and they're selling stock. Well, not every single environment has those sort of verticals. In fact, at my call center, most of our campaigns revolve around inbound support, outbound lead generation, and appointment setting. So there's a certain level of assertiveness, not aggressiveness, in regards to the campaigns that we accept and work with at the center.
Who's not a fan